Greetings. Greetings and welcome back to the channel. If for the first time you come across my channel, please remember to subscribe. So today we are out here in the open, we come to get some fresh air. And while I'm here, I said let us talk. So recently I've been doing mostly to do with Marcus Garvey, Black history, and stuff like that. But I want to turn my attention to the Americas. When I say the Americas, I mean like for now, North America, which is United States of America, and their history with dealing with our people. So I have today a video from well-known brother, pastor on now, God bless his soul, a brother called Dick Gregory. So I want you and I to sit down and watch and also listen keenly to what the brother is saying, and then we'll come back at the end and have a small discussion. So let's get into the video. Start from the beginning.
We keep praying for another Malcolm, another Martin, another one to a customer. You Malcolm, you Martin. Everything that ever was and ever will be, that's what we are. And how I see black folks upset over some little old third-rate punk. A fool. And I'm talking about black folks seriously scared. And I keep saying, well, where were you all when we dealt in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 30s, when the sheriff, the Ku Klux Klan, the White Citizen Council, the police chief, and the FBI was all the same. And we survived that with no television cameras, with no decent white folks. There's a lot of decent white folks now. The white folks, some of you all might know, might not be no good, but there are white folks that have been born and raised and that grew up with black folks. And all them lies they've been telling on black folks don't work with them. And that's why you see these white folks run around inflicting pain on themselves, because they realize their mom and dad have lied to them and they can't punch them out, so they stick their tongue out and put screws all the way through their tongue. Shoot each other. And Bush gonna be in for a rude awakening. These little white folk gonna cut him a new booty hole. They got 50,000 people waiting on him for the inauguration, and they got some white folks say they're gonna close it down. See, we talk about going to the Supreme Court and praying. I ain't got no problem with that. I'll be with them. But then white folk talk about closing it down because they think as free people. See, they know this thing ain't gonna never work. Huh? And the only way it could ever work is that we would have to spend as much time making it work as black folk as we spend going around the world trying to prop up this filthy, insane, vicious nation. And my embarrassment, and the reason I have to stay out here, I'm embarrassed. I was in the military. There was no war going on. I was in the military. I wasn't married. But when I was in the military, had there been a war going on, had I been married, had I had children, and that white boy say, let's go take that hill, I wouldn't have said, how will this affect my family? I'd have ran up that hill. And so I'm just damn sick and tired as a black man, and as black men go all over the war killing for this vicious, insane thing. Then when you come home and find out somebody shot your mama, you want to march. Now, I'm not standing here telling you to go get you a gun. You've already done that. I'm not standing here telling you to go kill somebody. You're a known killer all over the world. Until it comes to your liberation. And how do you mothers tolerate spitting something out your belly that has such heathen tendencies? How do you feel? How do you feel spitting something out your belly and you see that thing standing on the corner pushing crack to children? I do not have the authority to tell you you can't do dope. I do not have the authority to tell you you can't abuse your body, but I do have the authority to say you're not going to abuse this black neighborhood. And then y'all got nerve enough to believe these little punks is bad. If they bad, send them over in the Mafia Italian neighborhood who brings that stuff and tell them, sell dope over there in front of that Catholic church, punk. Huh? These are games. And what we need to do is just sit back and just listen. See, what we need to do is follow white folks, maybe. We need to follow Jews and see if we can learn to do for Africa what they've done for Israel. Huh? Maybe we need to learn to have that type of love for each other as they have for Israel. You spend all your money doing all kinds of crazy stuff. The strongest two forces in the history of America has always been the black woman and the black church. Always. That's why both of y'all are under attack. They can burn down a black church, but they never burnt down a black hoe house. They never burnt down a black crack house, but they can burn down a black church. Huh? A white boy put on a dress and look like a woman, they call him a transvestite or a cross-dresser. They want to refer to RuPaul as a beautiful black woman. Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. So somewhere when we understand our responsibility, there's a violation of God for you to let a system who hates you reduce you below the dignity that God have implanted in you just so you can pay your rent or your house note or feed your family. God's telling you death is better. Something's wrong. I can walk all over the world at night and see white cops all over the world and don't feel like they're gonna harm me until I get back to America. Huh? And if you all don't understand the insult magnitude of police brutality, then you crazy. A Ku Klux Klaner jump out on me and say, hey, nigga, come here. I can break and run. I can say your mama's a nigga. He can pull his gun and pistol whip him and shoot him. I can't do that to a cop. A cop has the right to tell me to stop, and I have to stop. I didn't have to stop for the Klansman or the lynch mob. And yet you want to peacefully coexist with this filth that happens every day, and it seems to be okay. You get angry, but it's okay. We looked at that black brother in Philadelphia. They were stomping and kicking and beating and gunning up. But hey, wait a minute. So he shot the cop. He took the cop's gun. He took his car. They shot him 6 times. That nigga was still fighting. They should hire him. They said, wait a minute, man, if you can teach cops to do this. But I tell you what, had that been a Doberman pinscher that took that cop's gun and the gun accidentally went off and shot, now they found out the cop shot the cop. Had that been a Doberman pinscher that bit that cop and then got in the squad car and kind of tricked something in the car, drove away, and had those cops caught that Doberman pinscher and worldwide watched them stomp that dog like they stomped that brother, all hell would have broke loose. Anytime I live in a country that you can treat me as a human being worse than you can treat a dog and get away with it, I mean, I live in a country where it's open season on me. I live in a country that have a deer season, a fishing season. You got to get a license to fish. You got to get a license to hunt. You can be driving through certain places like y'all traveling, they'll stop you, open up the hood to see if you got, they ain't never opened up the hood to look for me. And then we tolerate it. And so maybe this election might be what we need. Because we had the power. A country ain't, America ain't nothing but a punk. Crazy. They talk about God and spirituality. I was in Neiman Marcus. Now, poor folk don't shop in Neiman Marcus. I'm in Neiman Marcus the other day, and they got that, people standing in front of me buying stuff, and they got to take that machine and take that hook off them clothes. These ain't welfare. These super rich folks. Yeah, I know they got good juice in their credit cards. I've used some of them before. You know, they just be there, just feel so good. I just slip my stuff up in front of them. All over America, America's such mentally deranged, ungodly, unspiritual country. Every major retail outlet have to put stuff on their clothes because they know America will steal them in neighborhoods where black folks don't even come in. So don't tell the world I'm the thief. Don't tell the world I'm the drug addict. You do all your filth, then you paint it black. I caught you red-handed. What do I caught you red-handed mean? It means a thieving Indian. That's what it means. I caught you red-handed. They always gonna determine what the logo gonna be.
Yes, well, give thanks to stay. I just wanted to add here that sometimes what you're looking for, in my opinion, can be found exactly where you are. It's just because you don't know where the stuff is. I also wanted to say I've come across a book called The Alchemist. And in that book, if you have time to read that, this is what I take from it. That sometimes you have to go on this journey just to discover that whatever you're looking for, your riches or whatever it is exactly where you are. But you probably needed the journey so that when you acquire these things, you know what to do with it. Listen to the video properly, or listen to what he's saying properly. Then play it again and slow it down just to hear the full scope of what he's saying, because this brother sometimes put things in a parable way. America is a great country, yes, in my opinion, but that's because they're subdue the natives, exterminated them and take their land, and that's why they will back, in my opinion, Israel down to the teeth, because what Israel is doing to the Palestinians is exactly what they did to the native. Anyway, enough said. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Into the thing, people are not subscribed. Please subscribe, and the subscription